Hey guys, we are off this week, so this episode we were going to do reruns of Happy Days in Three's Company, but decided to replay our most popular episode so far from this year. This one is about the endless struggle between Democrats and Republicans. Who store it best? Let's find out.
I'm Christopher Titus. The president, Joe Biden, has classified documents. He stole them. See, he and Trump are the same. Told you, everybody takes classified documents when they leave the White House. You know, it's like eating grapes in the produce section of the Piggly Wiggly, which, by the way, is actually the name of a grocery chain in the South. Piggly Wiggly. What was that meaning like? All right, guys, we got a couple of suggestions here for the name. Do we go with Health Fresh, or we have a suggestion from the boss's 4-year-old? Piggly Wiggly. Yeah, Piggly Wiggly? Okay. Listen, we all take stuff we shouldn't, and Trump and Biden are exactly the same. Really? Are they really? Let's break it down. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is Document Theft Breakdown. Today, we're going to compare the two presidents that ended up with classified documents. First, Donald J. Trump, the Orange Menace, the Auburn a-hole. Let's look at the situation. Now, Trump took top secret documents from the White House and hid them in the board game closet in his resort. Then he refused to give the top secret documents back repeatedly. He then said he declassified them with his mind.
Very, very large brain.
They had a nuclear site information on them and lists of CIA agents. He also had hundreds of documents in his personal suite at Mar-a-Lago. And I say personal because Melania has never been in it. They literally had to raid the dude's house because he wouldn't give top secret documents back. The DOJ found the documents in Trump's bedroom. Again, they did not locate Melania. So, one president took documents, stole them, refused to return them, and was reviewing them in his bedroom, probably on the phone to Saudi. Joe Biden, on the other hand, had boxes in his think tank that he has never visited to think in. University of Pennsylvania created the Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement. They had an office in Washington, D.C. near the Capitol, which opened in 2018. It is a learning center, a place where policy is studied. You know, a place where documents should be. Well, they went through everything they had and they found 10 documents, which dates between 2013 and 2016. And they included U.S. intelligence memos and briefing materials that covered topics including Ukraine, Iran, and the United Kingdom. You know, memos from Obama. Then they found a couple documents in Biden's garage and one classified document in an adjacent room. Well. We now have a president that has at least 13 top secret documents from 2016 in his garage. Okay, let me clear this up. The boxes of documents were in his garage with his classic Corvette. Now, here is why I know those documents were the most protected documents in the history of the United States, because that Corvette was a wedding gift to Joe from his father, who happened to run a Chevrolet dealership for years. Joe Biden got that Corvette from his dad as a wedding gift in August 1967. So to be clear, these documents were locked up with a pristine, one-owner, 67 C2 Corvette owned by a president. The car is worth more than any top secret document ever printed. You give me a choice between the original Constitution and an original one-owner C2 Corvette, I'm taking the car. I mean, the Constitution was written as a living document meant to be changed. Yeah, you can just copy it and do it over. The 1967 Chevrolet Corvette convertible is a perfect design, never to be changed. So if those docs were in the garage with that car, they weren't only safe, but I'm pretty sure that Corvette has its own Secret Service agent willing to take a bullet for that car. And yeah, the top secret documents too. So yeah. One president packed some shit up when he was VP, then called to let people know he had them. He gave them back. Then he asked for an investigation. The other guy stole thousands of documents, hundreds that are top secret and worth billions. Ask the Saudis. So don't you think we need a subpoena for Jared? I'm Christopher Titus, and again, this is the Armageddon update. I cleared it up. I wish the news could fucking clear it up. How come someone can't just come out and say the truth? No, they gotta say, what did Biden do? What did he do? He can't fucking barely remember his name. I don't understand.
That kind of
It's
stress
the cleanup.
is not.
Ken.
It's not like I know.
By Tuesday, we have to have this whole place completely cleaned
Well, I'm
out
gonna
and redesigned as a nightclub.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, it's terrible.
That kind of work is different than
I
I'll tell you what.
I should also tell you that every year he would decide last minute that instead of just mopping the floor, it needed to be repainted.
Oh,
Every year.
okay.
Every year.
Or I would scrub it for a day, and then I would actually bring in this industrial shine stuff
Yes.
that I had to squeegee.
Then on
so
the
it
bottle
turns into
says,
a dance floor.
You need 72 hours
And
for
don't
it to
br-
cure,
Yes,
and then a month
exactly,
for it
yeah,
to.
no.
It's like,
You
yeah,
did-
fuck
no,
it.
we would,
And
yeah,
I'm like, we'd be done.
2 hours before.
People be like, why am I sticking?
Why does it smells like turpentine in here? What is?
All right. Hey, guys, everybody. Christopher Titus Podcast. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the hell you listen to. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
We just got back from the snow, and it was brutal. So our cabin, we've been blessed. I had that cabin. I bought it when I had a TV show, so it's like 3
Well,
stories.
are you speaking English?
Sorry,
I don't
am I going too fast?
know.
I had this. I bought this cabin
Yep.
after the TV show, and we remodeled it. And it's 3 stories. And the second story, the snow was there's a kitchen window, right?
Yeah.
The snow was above the kitchen window.
Yeah.
So it's
you got to just go up another story.
15 or 16 feet of snow up at the cabin, and it was
So
crazy.
it's an igloo now. That's Jesus.
It's only happened, I think, one other time it was that bad, right? Only one. I
Yeah,
don't.
one other time. The
the Ice
second
Age.
story.
That was the other time.
Exactly.
When he was a child.
The Pleistocene era. There was some issues. We also had bomb cyclone after bomb cyclone after bomb cyclone.
That's not what we're calling that.
What are we
Remember?
calling them now?
A parade of cyclones.
Yeah, that's what they said. That was the news.
Is that what they're calling it now?
It's a parade of cyclones.
They said at one point they showed us because I guess they got a new weather map. Have you seen the new weather map? It used to be like they would just show a weird animated, almost like from a kids show thing. Here's
now
the
it's
storm.
just like skulls.
No, it's black. It was black with the red in the center. And
blood dripping.
I'm like, are we getting attacked by Sauron? What the fuck is going on? Like from Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
It's a movie. 3 movies. Very long.
Oh, wow.
Actually, before that, they were books.
Oh,
So
were they about? Is it sci-fi though? Because I wouldn't have.
no, it's fantasy. It's more mythology.
Exactly, it's sci-fi, same thing.
No, sci-fi is totally different.
How
Yeah,
dare
no.
you?
Fantasy. It's fantasy.
So it's sci-fi.
Oh my
It all
god.
falls into the same
I
category.
am so as a fan of some of it, as a Star Wars fan, I'm irritated right now, and I
Is
have to
Star Wars
get rid of it.
fantasy? I feel like that's a fantasy that
I
someone
love
made
you,
up.
sister, and then damn you.
Sci-fi-
You ruined Thanksgiving. Why do you always have to ruin Thanksgiving?
Wait, Star Wars is sci-fi,
We were just having fun.
or would we call that like a space?
It's not. Here's the thing.
Biopic.
It's not a reality television show like Real Housewives.
Well, okay. I don't watch that
Yeah,
either,
you're
but I
a
used to.
But it kinda is, but-
See what you
I
what you
used to
feel.
watch
See what
that.
you feel right there. That's what we just felt.
No, I'm totally fine with
Oh really?
that.
Oh, so yeah, fine. So I watch it. So
What would I be offended if you made fun of?
Louboutins.
Psych?
Psych is I can't make fun of Psych. Psych is
Monk?
fun.
Oh, the show.
Monk can't make fun of Hunk.
Genius?
Yeah.
Closer.
Oh, the closer. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
That was you just can't get better than that.
Right.
But-
Yeah. Yes, you can. Star Wars. Hi.
Okay. But wouldn't it be fantasy that,
Science fiction.
Like there's
okay,
a
if you
giant,
want to put
fat
you want to hyphenate
blob guy
it. Science fiction fantasy.
Sure.
that
There
talks?
Science.
and
Well, I can accept science
there's
fiction
a
fantasy.
little green guy with big ears.
you go. Sure. You can throw
Mm.
fantasy in there. Sure.
Right?
Little green guy.
The Force.
Wow.
Sure.
You're racist against Yoda.
No, not him. The new one, the baby.
Oh, the baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Except it's not Baby Yoda. What is it?
It's Grogu.
Grogu.
Oh,
Grogu.
wow.
Grogu. By the way, again, they had a meeting about the name. They had a meeting. That's what I'm talking
That
about.
makes
Piggly
sense.
Wiggly.
Wiggly.
They had a meeting.
What?
Wait,
And
they-
the boss's
Is
4-year-old, Bob
Star
Iger's 4-year-old.
Wars.
He's named Grogu.
Star Wars is.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Science fiction fantasy.
Hello.
Right.
Hello. Star Wars is science fiction, fantasy, action, space opera, and adventure. Space opera? I wouldn't
Yes.
have guessed.
Lord of
that.
the Rings is not sci-fi.
No.
Go.
It is fantasy.
Okay.
Google it.
Okay. What genre is You know what I do remember about Lord of the Rings is how
Lord of the Rings would fit in one of the Harry
Fetus always had
Potter
hobbit
universe.
feet. He would always say he had hobbit feet because he did. He had these big,
Slippers.
giant
He also had
plates
Crocs,
of meat.
basically Crocs.
He also had many
Okay.
characters from the movie. He had dolls of the characters of the movie.
Oh, Lord of the Rings is fantasy fiction,
Yeah.
heroic fantasy, high fantasy. I mean, come on, guys.
Just fantasy.
Adventure fiction and chivalric romance.
Chivalric.
Is that a word?
Apparently.
Yo, this sounds like a dude in the neighborhood.
It's like a rapper.
Hey man, you seen chivalric?
What was the point of this?
What?
The Star Wars. Why? Oh, because I thought.
Because you were kind of
you guys made a Lord of the Rings reference.
You were
Okay.
disparaging. We thought we were disparaging
Yeah.
it. Wouldn't you? I would agree.
After the original trilogy, go for it.
Speaking
Have
of
at it.
Dennis,
no,
because you're both Dennis's
I would
right
say the
now.
original trilogy, and then
Say it like
two
Dennis.
of the last three.
Say it like.
By the way, the middle three were racist, and it's like, sometimes someone has to rein in George Lucas. Yeah, I know you're a billionaire, dude. Why don't you go have a sandwich? We got this.
Okay, so without saying the name, so Dennis is obviously a part of our everyday lives, and like for example, you started calling my niece's new husband Dennis, and
He
apparently
gets off on
she called him that once they got home because she sees it now. Once you see Dennis, you can't unsee Dennis, which is a T-shirt.
By the way, Dennis is pretty much he's supernatural. He's also
Omnipresent?
Omnipresent. He's always
He's
in your
science
life.
fiction. He's fantasy.
Yeah,
he's,
everybody.
And everybody
Chivalric
has.
romance.
You have an inner Dennis. Everybody is.
Yes.
It's part
About
23andMe.
something.
Everyone's 23andMe is at the bottom, and you're 2% Dennis.
Or 7.2%.
7.2%.
So, but her husband gets offended by it. But I just got a message about my special alpha chick that's very Dennis. Can you read that as Dennis?
I see Dennis as that is a compliment, all through and through.
I do too, especially
Because-
I think like I'm a Prince Dennis. I'm a
Well,
total
this
Prince Dennis.
is kind of why
right.
Dennis was
Guess
created.
what? This is the subject matter is Chops message. Hey Rachel, just want to say Alpha Chick was really good. I was a comic in the 90s and hung up the mic and just started writing new material. But I'll never forget the lessons I learned playing the clubs in San Diego including the only criticism I have for you. Timing is everything. You're almost perfect.
You're almost. I'm
You're
7.2.
almost perfect with it, but timing was off a few times. Where you paused either like a second or two too long, or didn't wait long enough. But it all comes with time, and I'm certain you're soon to be listed among the greats. Keep it up.
You don't. I'm
Thanks,
just.
Dennis. All right.
It's funny thing about that review is like he really sees that you're. By the way, your potential is unlimited. You just haven't got there yet.
In due time.
In due time. Yes. By the way, first of all,
You're almost
masterpieces
perfect
aren't
with
made
it,
overnight.
but timing was off a few times where you paused either like a second or two too long, or didn't wait long enough.
Which one is it?
Yes.
It's a,
Yes, I say your timing was off. Slower or faster? It's off. A little bit.
a couple of times.
Couple of times. In
So-
a 90-minute show. So work on that.
I'm not sure which one it is.
Get your shit together. So, because you're going to be one of the greats. What?
If-
That's the thing with Dennis is Dennis is like it's like you're slamming me and
Yeah.
complimenting me at the same
Yeah,
time.
it's
I'm never
backhanded.
sure where
Yeah.
Dennis is going with that.
I want to talk about the Armageddon update. We talked about the Biden docs. So now Biden is a raging criminal
yeah.
who has stolen many top secret
I'm
documents.
So annoyed with Biden.
Yes.
I am. When this came
Just
out
like
at
Trump.
the cabin, I was just like, it's not just like Trump, because like we could just end this whole podcast. I could just say one sentence. The reason that we know about Biden documents are because Biden's people found them and immediately turned them over.
Yeah, the next day.
The reason
yeah.
why we know about Trump is because after a year of going back and
Yep.
forth and him signing things, certifying, and him lying and him covering up and him making up different stories, they had to raid to get some of the documents, still don't have all of them. And now he's suing the Department of Justice and litigating through all the way to the Supreme Court. It's very different.
He
Next.
had attorneys signed documents that say they'd given all the
I know.
documents back. And then the National Archives was like, bro, we got a list
Yeah.
of
And
shit that you
now-
took.
and now
then they
he's
raided his house.
truthing
Then they
that
raided his
the
house.
documents are his and he has every right to have them, and that he was better because he was still president at noon on that day when he landed in Florida.
fuck's sake.
No,
and
because
took
he
the
had, no. He
documents.
said this because at noon he was still the president.
He
so
landed before noon in Florida.
They were in the plane. So the docs were in the plane when he
He's
landed.
admitting that he had these top
And he had a
secret.
fucking
And
gold.
he's also admitting that he knew they were on the plane when he landed before noon. And his lawyers are like, dude,
Dude, you gotta stop.
But so the thing that I hate about it, and the reason why I was so upset, is because all it does is muddy the water, which he's genius at. And this has muddied the water.
Well,
And
it gives-
what a dumb, stupid thing.
What it gives is it gives the dumb people who voted
Yes.
for him a sliver to grasp onto.
Which they will.
What they don't quite understand is Jack Smith is coming like a demon.
Well, they hired
And
they
it's
got
not
a special counsel for Biden docs.
But they
too.
asked for it. I think they were like, dude, America, just please impose a special counsel. Let's get it done right now.
Yeah.
And Biden didn't fight it. Biden's not going to court. You know what Biden's doing? Yes, look at it. Look
He's
into it.
being a Democrat.
Yeah.
Be like,
So-
whoops.
So wait.
All
So,
right,
so
investigate.
Trump had over 350. They don't know how many. It's over 350 top secret documents. 100 top secret documents. Over 350 documents he shouldn't have had. Biden had 13.
And
I don't ever think that's a great. I always feel like
No, I'm just saying that some paper could get like
that-
someone was shuffling
I
shit
know,
on.
but I'm just.
There's a
you know
difference
what I
between.
mean.
Well, I'm just
Wrong
saying,
is wrong.
There's different taking the binder with all the documents and like, oh fuck, all my memos from Obama. There's something in there that shouldn't be in there. Do you get that?
They're not, because Biden and his team don't run their mouths. Like Trump would have gone and held a press conference where the White House press secretary should be, like he always did, and then run his mouth about how great he was and all this shit. Well, they're not talking. Because they can't, because it's an ongoing investigation.
Right.
So we don't know what the documents are, but we do know that NARA didn't even notice them missing, which means they're not nuclear documents.
Yes.
They're not, like we know he has
This list of CIA
foreign
agents and their real
agents
names,
that were
yes.
planted in other countries.
love letters to Kim
They would
Jong-un.
miss
Right.
those, right? And so these are from Obama era when he was vice president. They've already said some of them were daily briefings.
They're
they
between
believe.
20. So the documents, all the top secret documents, between 2013 and 2016, which means some of this shit's already been on Instagram.
Right.
It's,
And
it's that long
and
ago.
Trump had so many, and who wouldn't put it past him to fucking sell this shit? Like he fucking bundled them as NFTs. What the fuck?
Here's the thing. I think he's fighting so hard for him because he already has. I think he.
Like, why would he fight that?
He did not expect the raid, and we already know that Jared got $2 billion from Saudi. So, which better way to funnel it to Trump through Jared?
Yeah.
By the way, the Saudi finance minister, when Jared wanted that $2 billion for his investment firm, the Saudi finance minister looked at it and went, "This guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
He doesn't ever run an investment firm. What are we doing?" And MBS said, "No, give him the $2 billion anyway." So I believe this. Here's what I think. Here's my theory. Here's my conspiracy theory on from the left. I believe that Trump, the reason he had him in his bedroom at Mar-a-Lago was because Melania is never there, but also because he was going through them. I mean, they found him in his room. They displayed him on they were in his fucking desk. They weren't in a locked closet. Like Joe's like, we have what, where? Like
He's putting dollar signs on them.
Yeah. They were on the bed. They were on the there's a coffee fucking circle on it and shit. Like
Well, that's why he
there
was
was
so mad.
cheese. Like, why is there from the omelet
From
bar?
That was his makeup.
That's why he was so mad, because they took other things that he said were his personal items, because it was to show how intermingled these top secret SCI documents were with his daily personal use
There's a club
items.
sandwich.
His fake Photoshop Time magazine cover.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Put it up in his thing. He actually made a fake.
Yeah.
You know this, right?
Yes.
That's what
It's
he's
hanging up in
talking
his
about.
I know,
one
but
of his
I mean,
offices.
No, it's literally in the hallway of Mar-a-Lago.
Oh my
He's
God.
even like people are like, oh, he was in Time Magazine. No, he never. No, not
That's like
for
one of
not
those
good.
fake Old West. Like you get him.
I went to the Time
was in the
Magazine
Old
booth.
West.
We all go to this. Let's all
I
go to
was
the
a
Time
sheriff.
Magazine booth and get like a magazine cover. Yeah, that'd
He
be great.
did make himself the sheriff in his NFTs. He was an astronaut.
Oh my God.
Yes.
NFTs. And then he did the Biden aviator. We talked about this, but
Yes.
every time I see those NFTs, I just go, dude, how fucking damaged are you? How
Yes.
dramatically narcissistically damaged
Yes.
are you?
Very.
And on the opposite side, so Biden he's having a track record. He's been in office. He's been
42
in politics
years.
for a zillion years. And there's a level of trust. Like, okay, he's not hiding these.
He's got 13. Yeah. So here's, and you said number doesn't matter, right? It could be one. If it's one document
Wrong
with a
is
list
wrong.
of wrong
Yeah.
is wrong. But there's a difference between walking out of the store with something that you put under your cart that you didn't pay for and walking back in as soon as you see it. And the other thing is like fucking stuffing a fucking roast down your pants and running to the car.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Also, I think my point is very well taken. Armageddon update. He kept saying it, which is funny because I kept saying, why is he saying it that way? It's in the garage with my Corvette. And I thought to myself, that seems kind of lame. It almost seems less until you realize what that Corvette is. That Corvette is a one owner.
Yep.
I said it in Armageddon update. One owner C2 Corvette. Convertible given to him by his father on his wedding day in 1967. No one's ever touched that car. That car is worth as he said, Smithsonian level.
Yeah. It's behind like a bunch of like Get Smart doors.
You can, in fact, there's charges set to go if anybody except Joe gets near the car. Those documents are the safest documents on the planet. Nobody could get to those documents. If
That's how you get down to the alien bodies. It goes down.
In fact, that's what Joe does. That's how he made friends with the aliens. He went down they flew the car to Area 51. He was like, "You want to go?" And they were like, "Beep boop, beep boop," and they got in. Aliens hanging his long ass arm out, smoking. That's how he made up with aliens. Took him for take you right in my Corvette. Okay, we're not going to destroy the planet. That's how important that car is.
That's why we're having a bunch of UFO declassification going on now. All right, see?
You guys were genius.
Next on conspiracies.
I don't know. Speaking of conspiracies, Lisa Marie Presley died yesterday.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
54 years old, winning
like
the cardiac arrest.
And the night before, she was at the Golden Globes, or two nights
nights
before.
before,
She was
yeah.
at the Golden Globes, and she would, and then what's his face won for
Austin
the Baz Luhrmann.
Butler.
Austin Butler won for the movie, and and he thanked her, and it's like such an amazing peak to her life to have 2 days later to lose her life is crazy. Like, people, be clear, man. You just never know. You never know.
She was young. She was
52.
54.
like, what the hell?
54, sorry.
What happened? Was she
Cardiac
on the toilet?
arrest.
Was she on the toilet?
No.
No.
In a jumpsuit.
Man, I can't. Too soon and hilarious. I didn't even think about it.
In a jumpsuit. Everybody on Twitter you're either screaming that these tweets should be taken down, or you're tweeting that she died from the vaccine. And I was just saying to you today on my way here, I'm so frustrated by stupidity. I just can't with dumb in 2023. I've put up with it for 6 years now. Well, forever, but the last 6 years have been extraordinary.
Amped up. It's been amped up. Yes.
And why would you? Why, guys, would you think that a vaccine that is actually a fake copy, like a fake version of a disease that they put in your body to trick your immune
It
system
warns
into
your
turning
body
on,
that this might come, so get
is
ready for it.
worse than the actual
disease,
version of
yeah.
the disease?
Mhm.
So we're going to
It does.
ignore the disease. Get that. That doesn't matter.
Right.
Sure, more people at young ages are falling dead from cardiac arrest,
Right.
but that must be from the fake vaccine, not the disease that they had.
So you can look this up. There was
Not that I'm saying that she died from the disease. I'm just
she
saying.
didn't. It wasn't
the
from the
logic
vaccine.
doesn't make
But
any
anybody,
sense.
but the dumb side. I'm just going to call the dumb side of our society right now. Anybody who dies, it's COVID. It's a vaccine.
Yeah.
It's a vaccine.
Mhm.
It's
the-
never COVID, though.
The truth is, 2/3 of the people currently dying, and we're still losing 8,000 people every 10 days of COVID. 2/3 of them happen to be Republicans. They actually did a study, and it was out this week, that basically the Republicans who refused to take the vaccine. So and this is the logic of, you said it on the way over perfectly. You said, how come these people don't think it through?
They don't connect to the other side.
So if if 66% of the people dying of COVID are the unvaccinated, and the people that are vaccinated are not dying, wouldn't you think maybe we should probably get the vaccine? Wouldn't you think that?
No, they're blaming the vaccine. Diamond just died.
So now it's going to be just and Silk
I know, which is really
on tour. And Silk.
that guy's going to be mad about the timing of their intro now because it's gonna be
Ladies
a pause.
and gentlemen, give it up for the right wing. It's and Silk.
Okay, hey,
Who
Diamond
Diamond?
and Silk, the two
Diamond.
black
The
ladies
two black
that Trump.
little black ladies.
That they loved Trump, and well, they were not little, and they loved Trump, and
they
he
were
loved them.
elfish.
And
Oh.
they were comedians.
Ah.
For those at home that cannot see, I put that in air
Quotes. Yes, that was it.
because
How was
he
their timing?
truthed about them dying at first, how they were heroes and this and that. But yeah, everybody said,
You can pull a picture of him right here. So
Yeah.
anyway, so it's just and Silk now.
That is a ellipses. Silk.
It's just and Silk. It's sad, and I feel
Whenever you
bad.
have an
It's
ampersand
horrible.
in
I'm
your
sure those
name as
people
a
that
comedian,
I
you're
don't
not
want to
a
be. I don't want to
comedian.
be a dick. Look, man. And anybody dies, they have people that love them and people that are near them. I feel bad that anybody dies. It's weird though. There is something that goes away when that person is kind of filled with misinformation, hatred, and may have gotten someone else killed by their stupidity.
That's what Paula Poundstone
I
tweeted
kind
about
of
her.
I kind of feel like, I'm really sad you're dead, and you've probably helped other people
That's what
die.
Paula
You
Poundstone said.
psycho.
Something in a very classy way
Yeah.
of, I'm so sorry that she passed away. Sorry for her family and friends. And I'm also sorry for the many people that
That
she may have contributed to killing
Yes.
with COVID vaccine misinformation.
So
I
her
was
death
like, "Ooh."
is going to save some lives, probably. Because
No,
the
'cause they're not
information will be
releasing-
less.
No,
Cause
they're
of
not
death.
saying. They're not,
Oh.
even Ann Silk said she just got sick. That's gone. She just died. She went down. And I was like,
Jeff Beck died.
yeah,
Jeff Beck
Yeah.
My
died this
favorite
week.
living guitar player of all
wow,
time.
wow. How old was he? 60-something, 67.
He died of
Vaccine.
bacterial meningitis.
Ah.
Bacterial
Bacterial
meningitis.
meningitis.
Something that seems so avoidable and you just never know. He was
Yep.
72, I think.
Wash your
And a car
hands.
guy, big car guy.
Yeah, wash your hands, people. For God's sakes.
Wash your hands.
Is that how you get it?
Bacterial meningitis. I don't know. The word bacterial just
Just-
makes me think.
yes.
Yeah, wipe your butt and wash your hands.
Yeah.
That's how I break it down. I mean, that's the best medical advice I have.
Jeff Beck was born in 1944.
That was my dad's age.
So he would be what? We all just went dead.
Math.
My eyes
six-
crossed.
44. So there'd be 56.
Dennis?
56,
78,
76.
79,
Yeah,
depending
78,
on
yeah.
when his birthday
Yeah.
is. So he had a nice life.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Although you kind of want people to live into their 90s.
Yeah, these
Grandma
days.
says, I always say I want her to live to 112. And she said, I don't want to live that long. She's like, it's already getting hard enough. She doesn't,
Oh.
she doesn't want to live that long.
By the way, that's a confident human being. I don't want to live that long.
No,
Mhm.
she's
Whoa,
good.
whoa.
She's like, I'm fine. I know where I'm going. Okay. Who else died?
So we lost Lisa Marie Presley. We lost Jeff Beck.
Our living room.
Diamond, our living room was destroyed. Thank God for the hero of the day.
And Rosa sounded the alarm.
So we're up at the cabin. We've had a couple of them. We had a problem. We've got water. Here's what happened to our house. The balcony that was obviously built by cousins, the house we bought, leaked through the kitchen to the dining room. So we've got some problem there, but it's not that bad. It's fixable.
Mhm.
It's not crazy. The roof didn't cave in. We just got to fix it.
Yep.
But we're up at the cabin, and I have this thing where I've been every time I want to go snowboarding, something happens. A gig pops up, an audition pops up. We have to go. Something happens with family. We have to deal with. So we're up there, and all these storms come in. The bomb cyclone parade, and I'm just like, I'm not leaving. So so like Rose is like, oh my God, it's leaking through the ceiling, and I'm like, we're not leaving. She was all panicked, and then Rosa comes over the next day and she says the living room is flooded.
Yeah,
Flooded.
flooded.
He was there for it.
He ran over right after.
Yeah.
God.
Who's the guy in Pulp Fiction who like
The wolf. You're the
The
wolf.
wolf.
You're like the
There you
wolf
go.
for a
Yes.
personal
Yes.
shit.
It's
Yes.
it takes 45 minutes,
We
I'll
have
be there in 10.
pictures Rosa took of you out snaking the drain. That was
Yeah.
another problem you got out ahead of with your jeans rolled up to your knees and no
Barefoot
shoes
dying.
on.
Yeah, I can't believe you
in
get
cold
sick.
water. So
So crawl fishing.
So we had this right. So Ray designs our house very nicely, and then we had this giant black furry rug. I think she goes to the Lenny Kravitz School of Design.
Yes, that is such a compliment.
It really is.
Zebra rug when you first walk in.
Yeah.
I can see that. Okay.
So this rug, to keep the rug nice, she put a pad under it. Well, the pad acted like a super sponge. So I guess whatever happened, and here's the weird. This freaks me out. And if anybody knows this, please write us, because so the water had to come in from somewhere, right? So I don't know how you got. So this rug is like 12 by 12. It's monstrous.
Yeah.
It soaked up 1,000 pounds of water
On its own, it's like 500 pounds.
It's already insanely heavy.
trying to put it in the house is almost impossible. It was soaked. When I got home, it's on the porch just in a ball, and it's a giant, like as big as this table.
He actually said to me, "I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can." It's
I
really
tried to
heavy.
move it. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit!
Yeah.
How did you get it out?
I fucking got down like a Viking, and I was like, we are going to discover a new land, God damn it.
That's how I put it in the living room, because I was by myself when I did that.
So it's sitting in the front, and it's now draped in our front yard. She's like,
I can't believe he did this.
the
drove by it
stairways,
today,
the stairway. And I just draped it to the dry. It's so wet. What am I drag it to the backyard?
It's going away.
So
you got it down to the front, to the
He
street?
took it so that he could display it
dude,
on
I
our
was
front
dragging it.
entryway.
Dude, I was dragging. Well, wait, it was so wet. Well,
We
I'm
are
not
that
taking
family in the
My
neighborhood.
truck won't
You
carry
live
it. It's
in that
heavy
house.
as this. So, dude,
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
I'm leaning back this far trying to drag it down. It was
If you
crazy.
don't know that house, you live in that house.
Now, so the only reason I said it was okay because the neighbors across the street have parked Uncle Eddie's camper in front of the house. And
Across their driveway.
across their driveway.
Yeah, and there's a big giant pipe going into the drain. What is going on in
Is
there?
there?
No, it's not.
Oh, I did an
You did the
I did
movie.
do
Okay,
an
I was like,
Uncle
what?
Eddie thing when we got there, because we're Julia
It's a
Louis Dreyfus and her weird lawyer husband across the street.
Yeah,
like,
working
oh
out. We're
my
like, oh my God, what's going
God.
on across the street? The weird thing about it is that like it's parked across their driveway and it's massive.
Yeah, you can't see the house.
I yesterday watched the people that live there, their Prius, they squeezed that tiny car through that tiny opening and then pulled up and parked in the driveway. So
But-
they're still using the driveway.
But you do know whoever parked that trailer there was an asshole.
Maybe it's one of those reality shows, and they're going to reveal the beautiful
New home.
That was the same house.
Lenny Kravitz design.
Yeah.
I would love that. That
I
would be
wouldn't.
sweet.
We have that. No one else has it. So I was up till 10 o'clock last night. So here's. So please tell me. I don't know. We have a.
That wasn't very late.
We have a slant. No.
Oh,
I was outside digging holes at 10.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You said up till. I was like, you were up a lot later.
Yeah. Here's what happened. So I can't find. He gets the rug out. We get home. There's some wet on the wood. Puddles. It wasn't like the wood was soaked. We dried it. I bought one of those big blowers from Home Depot, and we blew it. And then woke up the next morning, and we moved the Christmas tree. I can't.
It is a mystery.
Where the fuck did the water?
It seems
come
like
in?
it seeped up.
It did.
But it's not at the
Yes, it
edges
can.
at all.
No.
Like you go.
Not one edge.
I was feeling like,
But it
doesn't-
can't.
Yes, it can.
No,
because it's seeped underneath, and then it
Yes.
percolates up.
Yes. Yeah, but-
that's what. And
but
then
it would
just-
have-
And then the rain stopped and the water receded.
Okay, Columbo. Listen,
I'll be Monk, he can be
Monk, Columbo. All right. He'll be Serpico, and you can be Monk. There would be evidence through one of the cracks in the boards, and there isn't.
What evidence?
There'd be water. There'd be the edge of the
No.
boards. Yes, if it seeped up through there would be evidence that there was
The
water
last
coming through.
place that water was in the cracks. What remained,
There
but you
was
dried
water.
everything.
Yeah.
And so by the time we got
It
there,
was-
because he had dried everything,
You can't dry. Okay, how do you? Okay, here's the top of the wood. Here's the bottom of the wood. The water's underneath. You can't.
There's no water there anymore.
It would. How did it dry under?
It would go back down.
I would
after
argue
time.
You guys
underneath
are
there,
nuts.
it's still not dry.
That's not how that shit. All right, so guys, I need someone to send me an email. Where did the water come from? If it's soaked, it's a slab
It
foundation.
can also evaporate.
And
Right.
the water and the boards are glued to the floor. So you tell me how the water got
You're
in.
assuming that they built the floor the proper way that you know
So
floors
I walked
should
around the
be
whole
built.
floor stepping on it, and water would have shot up if there was water.
Are we sure we don't have Rosa like
There was no
sabotaging
water
your
anymore.
carpet? Just
to
like,
get us home.
fuck these
'Cause she needs
fuckers.
No, Rosa loves
Rosa
us.
loves us. She'd be like, I want them home to see them.
Yeah, your house very unhappy when you're not here, Raquel. That's what she always tells me. Your house very unhappy.
Does he sage the walls? Is
I
that-
don't
that
know,
kind of-
but she for sure thinks
By the way, that's
we
a
need to be
great
home.
that's a great horror movie. Like single white female. It's a great where
Uh-huh.
the housekeeper just needs you home.
Yeah, that gets real creepy.
Here's the problem with Biden documents that we have to acknowledge. He opened Penn Biden Center in 2017.
Right.
It's a nonprofit think tank in
Right.
Washington. It's run by the University of Pennsylvania.
Covered that in the Armageddon update, yes.
As of November 2nd, before the election last year, Biden attorneys discover a small number of records inside the office at the think tank. They inform the U.S. National Archives of their discovery, turn over the materials, and begin cooperating with the archives and the Justice Department.
Hold, come one second. Can we just? I want to lay on that. The second they found the documents in a place where Biden doesn't go, they were like, "Holy shit!"
Turn them
They
over.
called the National Archives and
Mhm.
turned them over instantly.
But we never heard anything
But the
about it.
National Archives, you didn't even know about it. Well, here's what I get. The way the country's going right now, and as we've seen with the Republicans already in the House, I'm good. Get the election over with. Get these assholes out. Good. I don't give a shit.
I guess you could
wait a
argue
couple of weeks.
We had no idea the 8 months that Trump was going back and forth with NARA and the DOJ and
We
the
had
FBI.
nope.
We didn't find out until they had to raid.
Until they raided his. We also didn't find out that he was planning an insurrection. They never
November
let us
9th,
know.
FBI began an investigation to determine whether classified information was mishandled and whether federal laws were broken. November 14th, Merrick Garland assigned John Lausch, who was a Trump appointee, U.S. attorney in Illinois. He assigned him to investigate and to determine whether special counsel is warranted. December 20th, Biden's personal counsel informs DOJ that more documents with classification markings were found in the president's private library attached to his garage at his home in Wilmington. January 5th, Lausch briefs Garland on the investigation and does recommend a special counsel. January 9th, the White House tells everyone.
When was the election? What day was the election?
11, it's usually, isn't it November 3rd?
So on the 2nd, this started. And they probably, I mean, what are they going to do? Call that day?
Yeah.
They find the docs on the 3rd, or they let it be on the 2nd? The election, it wouldn't have changed the election.
What if they just keep finding documents? Just like,
Well, that's the
today
problem.
we found
That's
some
the problem. All of a
in the
sudden,
trunk of the
"All right,
Corvette.
guys."
Well,
You know,
January
you know when you
12th.
buy paper at Staples, we found a box. It's all.
At the
January
Wilmington, Delaware
12th.
hub.
Biden's personal counsel informs DOJ that a document with classification marking was discovered in the president's home in Wilmington. So,
You know, when I first heard it, I was like, "Fuck, this is gonna
she said.
tank the
yes,
Nope.
case against Trump." But
it just gives them.
No, it
the
doesn't.
other thing is, like, you know what? Prosecute them both, because if it's the punishment's
Exactly.
going to be commensurate to.
To what you did.
We're like, hey man,
Exactly.
it's illegal.
Exactly.
Prosecute.
Yeah.
And the fact that
but here's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. We're like, yeah, if Biden
Okay.
stole some shit, okay, get him.
you would take the heat.
Get everybody.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and we were talking about this recently, the dumb in our country is it's such a virus right now, to the point, like I was telling him about what I heard. So we watched an interview, guy that goes around to rallies and interview, not Jordan Klepper's another guy. And he interviewed a bunch of people about Biden, what they thought about Biden. And the woman flat out says, Biden's not alive. Biden's dead. He goes, what? And he goes, there's 3 different actors playing Biden right now. In fact, she said, remember when he ran up the stairs on the plane and he fell? That was Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey plays him sometimes. It's a mask. And I just...
Wow, really good. They could get progressively
just-
like with
well,
the
it's
stuttering.
very
and
detailed.
I blame Tom Cruise for those fucking Mission Impossible movies where the
Yeah.
fucking thing comes off his face. I just...
Or
It's Chat
Face Off.
GPT.
Goes
Yeah,
back
Face
to
Off.
Face Off.
What I-
Ooh, movie reference.
What
Boom.
I don't
Movie no one
understand
knows.
is how can you have so little sense and be so stupid in America currently
Yeah.
to actually believe that. And you said it best too. They say that Trump's still shadow running the government. So he's having the FBI and the DOJ investigate him while he's shadow running the government.
But also, you believe Trump is shadow running the government, and yet you're bitching nonstop about how messed up the government is with the libtards running it and giving away all the money
Yeah.
and
going after
destroying-
him.
Yeah.
So is he running it or
I don't-
is he not running
They
it?
don't think it through.
Well, it's funny when you bring this up to them, like when you think it through to them, they blank, and then they come up with something else. You know, in fact,
They say Trump works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I don't know. Like it's bigger. It's
We
more.
don't understand.
Yeah, we don't
all of it.
understand it, and you don't understand it either. It's bigger than all of us.
Okay.
And then there's a guy recently yesterday. They interviewed him and he was talking about how all Democrats are pedophiles. Everyone in Hollywood's a pedophile. And the interviewer goes, I'm looking at your record right now. You already did 3 years in prison for inappropriate behavior with an 11-year-old. And the guy goes, well, I just took the plea deal because, it was.
Wasn't Trump in Hollywood for a couple minutes?
Trump hung out with Jeffrey Epstein, was his best buddy.
Trump
he was in a
tried
movie.
so
He
hard
got
to
sued by 3 different people who at the time were 13 and 14 when he raped them. And that went away. Shit goes away. We live in a monarchy. We do not live in a rule of law country. They say it. If you're black, we do. If it's me or you, if you make less than, if you make a normal salary, we live in a rule of law country. But if you're rich and you're powerful, we live in a monarchy, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah. Welcome to my next special.
This episode brought to you by Liquid IV.
Yay!
Liquid IV, we pounded like crazy at the cabin because of the altitude. It is so...
And the red wine.
And it's so weird how you enunciate that. Red wine. Yeah, so dehydrating up there. So, especially going snowboarding, and I can't drink water all day because I have to pee. And
You
I'm
have the
in
bladder of
snowsuit.
a pistachio.
Exactly. And I'm in a snowsuit. And there used to be a bathroom on the backside of the mountain, and they closed it for some sexist reason. And
Pop
so
squat.
now, no. So now there's nowhere. There's no. So now I have to ski back over and down, and just I like the bib. The overall things. And so then you have to take off both jackets, unhook your little bit. So Liquid IV, by the time we got home, I desperately needed. I would be so dehydrated. We have the energy ones up there as well. I now have people that come to our house, like the massage therapist girl who comes over and it's like, hey,
and they steal.
Can I get some of that?
They steal it. They flat out steal it from our house.
And I'm like, hey, first one's free.
Yeah.
No.
Here, use the promo code.
Yeah.
Listen, I gave you a
help
promo
me help
code.
you.
What are you doing?
Pretty much everyone in our world, even peripherally, uses Liquid IV like crazy. People in North Carolina, grandma's neighbor now uses it. It's like everyone.
I have two a night. They sit on my nightstand. I have 2 bottles of water with Liquid IV in it every night. I love it.
Plus, you can take it with you.
Yep.
Golden cherry is around. I love
Pretty
golden
good.
cherry.
Pretty good. Watermelon the best.
Masseuse lady loves guava. She said it's because
God bless.
she said, I know it's not my favorite, but she said because I'm Asian, we love guava. I said, okay, that sounded racist,
you're being
but you
racist
said
to
it,
your own
so,
person.
Okay.
Wow.
Pina colada, excellent for a drink. If you go, our friend in
Can I talk about
Chicago
this?
texted me last night and sent me a screenshot of Liquid IV. She listens to the podcast of what they're doing on their website now. And and she goes, finally, they're speaking to their base, and it's like mixed drink.
You've been saying this since day one.
Good.
Since we started using it, you've been saying this. You own that. You own that. We can go back 2 years into that podcast and say you study. So she comes up all the time and would be like, this would be good with a little vodka and a thing. And I'm like, this, because basically it's a circle. It's a Mobius strip of alcohol while what you're drinking is also hydrating you.
So
I'm sure when the guy invented it, he was like, man, people are going to be able to get hammered and still work out the next day.
I did do that.
I did do that too.
night that Shauna and I made penis cookies for Christmas.
God, I don't want to say this.
We drank
you made accidental penis
strawberry.
cookies.
Well, the first was accidental and the next batch was 100% on purpose.
You guys are so weird.
We use strawberry Liquid IV.
Yep.
And a little, like, those dirty cherries, that you can buy. They're like real, anyway. And tequila. No, we drank a whole bottle of tequila between the 2 of us. And just in the few hours we were making, and I've never done that, like maybe in high school when I almost died.
I stayed upstairs and just played.
Yeah.
With the Liquid IV, every drink was mixed with hydrator. I'm not recommending it. I'm not a doctor. In fact, probably don't do this. But the next day, I got up, worked out, and did a podcast called Whiskey Women and had to drink whiskey on the podcast with the distillery owner and the host.
She's not, but you really sound like an alcoholic right
I was fine.
This episode is brought to you by Alcoholics Anonymous.
I actually couldn't believe it. I was like, how did we drink that much? Shauna did drink the bulk of it.
So I have to say my workouts are better. I don't get my headaches. I don't get headaches. If I do get the headache, boom, pound one of those
Man,
liquid
does
IVs.
this make a difference for my allergies, my sinus headaches? You
What's
get
in it?
B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. It hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. It's kind of like getting an IV, hence called liquid IV. And getting IVs feels awesome. A non-GMO, no gluten, dairy, soy. So right now you can grab liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco. They have huge bags of strawberry. Or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use promo code Titus at checkout. That's 20% off of anything you order, including the bundles, when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code Titus at liquidiv.com.
Get it. It's legit. George Santos. We have to talk about this guy. Because here's the thing. So the Republicans have been saying that we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. We're going to bring in and fix it.
What is it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. How are you gonna fix? We just added
Depends on what
10
the definition
million
of it is.
jobs. Yeah. How are you gonna fix that? We vaccinated 260 million people and we're back and the economy's growing like crazy. And what are you talking about? What are you fixing? So they bring in this guy, George Santos, who ran in New York, ran for office.
Are we sure?
Everything.
We're sure that he did that.
Dude, I don't even think he wears glasses. That's his glasses, and his left arm isn't his. Like, although I did, and he said he jumped the fountains at Caesar's Palace on a motorcycle. I don't know who this
So
fucking
we
guy is.
mentioned this, but when his name was called to vote, George Santos, several times, the video C-SPAN was allowed to have their cameras in at that time. He's just looking down. He's not responding to that name. So people started saying if that's even his real name. Well, now a video has surfaced when he was campaigning early on that a guy that knew him gets to the name he's supposed to introduce him as and goes, oh, well, I've always known him as
Devolved.
No way.
Whatever the name is, 2 totally different names. I'll have to look it up. And he goes, but this says George Santos. Okay, everybody, George, and he brings him up.
Look
like
at the name. So the name of his other name was the name of the company for him.
Right?
Yeah, George. There's 4 names. So now what he's using is 4 names. Well, she pointed out that my ex allegedly uses, because we keep getting stuff to basically Aaron Rachel Titus. She gets stuff from mail.
I pulled her credit report, and his
Interesting.
ex's name, some of her aliases are also known as on her credit report, are versions of my name.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I have predators
That's
now
legit.
calling me,
Yeah.
not calling. He's not getting the calls. So used to, he would get the calls because he was linked to her. But now I'm getting the calls. My number is being put on credit applications, and I'm linked to her because it appears that my name was used.
Right. Yeah.
To attempt or to get some type of credit various times. And
Her middle name's not Rachel.
No,
it is not.
I just
on
want
a
to be
credit
clear.
report, it might be. So that's what he did. You start adding names. So he's got 4 names. It's Alexander George Santos DeVolder.
Rachel.
His real name is Rachel.
Rachel.
His real name is
Titus.
Alexander DeVolder. The company that funded his campaign that appeared right before he started running is called DeVolder Group or something like that. Then he just starts dropping off names. You use mixtures of names here and there.
And then you can always say,
Jesus
no, I'm just
Christ.
using my different names. The Devolder Group was a consulting firm that doesn't have any customers. But it made $3.5 million in the last couple of years.
But has no clients.
It had no clients, and
It's
the
very
guy was
Trumpy.
lived with his mother and was evicted as of 2017. Like, so whatever, I don't even get why. So the Republicans get to the House. They get to take, which, by the way, did we talk about the 15 times? No, I didn't do a thing about that today.
What 15 times? No.
15 times. Kevin McCarthy had 15 votes.
Oh, yeah. We talked about it last week at the cabin.
In over 100 years, they haven't had that happen. In 15 votes.
Yeah.
George Santos, who used to go by DeVolder, for a while he went by George DeVolder. DeVolder is his mother's maiden name or family name. That company that funded his campaign out of nowhere is there. There's now allegations that it was a classic Ponzi scheme.
They sold stocks that didn't exist.
Yes. It's a type of fraud where existing investors are paid with funds from new investors. So now that's under investigation by the SEC. And he has come out and said that it was 100% legitimate. It was accused by a potential customer of fraud in 2020, a year before it was sued by the SEC. So it was already being sued before he won this place in office. So that's ongoing. There was a tweet. So he tweeted out in 2020 that as George DeVolder, that was who his account was under then, Twitter, April 2020, he tweeted something about how this company offers you a strategy that mitigates loss while creating cash flow, blah, blah, blah. A potential customer responded to that tweet to George DeVolder saying he looked into it and found it to be fraudulent. He said, Deutsche Bank claims it's a complete fraud and not signed by the bank officer on the document. How do you explain this? This is all happening on Twitter. And George DeVolder says, I'm sorry, I'm not following you. And yet he saw the tweet. Could you please just send me a private email at george.devolder@harborcity.com and
George
we'll go through this
DeVolder.
together. Yes. I look forward to hearing from you, he puts on Twitter. So this was already happening in 2020, April of 2020.
See, Republicans would look at him and go, "Oh, he's good.
Well, that's the
he's
problem.
president material."
They actually they're interviewing McCarthy. Comes out of the elevator and they go, "Are you going to have him resign?" And McCarthy goes, "What's he been charged with?"
We're going to promote him.
Yeah.
He's the best liar we've ever had.
I love that pre-trial, basically, Dahmer. They'd have been like, "We're fine with Dahmer."
Right.
Until he's convicted.
Yeah.
We're fine. There was people on Twitter that I followed that, and part of the funny progressives that I was part of till I quit Twitter. And they said, there was like 7 of them that said, I watched the Dahmer thing on Netflix and I've lost a part of my soul. And I just
We chose not to watch
it. There's enough dark shit in my life. And it's weird because I'm good with that stuff, but it's so beyond evil and mental ill. And I just can't. I'm like, my mom killed one guy and didn't eat him. You know what I'm saying?
That you know of.
Shut up. I do know.
You don't know. You know why you wouldn't know?
She did get fit.
No, they found him. No, they found him and buried him. Not parts of him. He was he was complete.
Protein loading.
We got to stop this. We have to get off this. I need to get off this freeway now, right fucking now.
There was a picture that tells the whole story
Jesus
of George
Christ.
Santos.
Yeah.
Where he's doing a Zeke Heil. Is it Zeke Heil? See? And then, whatever
White
that
power.
is.
Yeah,
White power.
he's
What does that mean? What does this mean?
He's voting. He's raising
He's
his
voting.
hand to vote. Like,
Yeah, but he's doing it like this.
of course.
He's doing it like this.
But in all these pictures, he's doing this white power. It's so intentional.
what does it mean?
He's
He's
forming his
Brazilian.
hands.
He's Brazilian.
Right, I know.
What does this mean?
the white
0
power.
black and brown people. That's
White
what that
power.
means.
This really rose during Trump.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
used to it meant okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you can't. Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, it's
okay.
P. It's white, and then the P.
Got
Power.
it. Oh, clever. Okay.
You made that up. But
No,
was
that's
good.
how you. That's why they hold it like this instead of just going like this. That's why they hold it like this because it shows WP.
You don't hold it like that. He's holding it like this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What are you talking? Oh my God.
Buddhists,
I can
they're
show you-
super white power.
I can show you a bunch of people doing it like this. A bunch of people that he was trying to do it like that. He was just being subtle with it. He was hiding it. I think we've got a guy who is probably the biggest liar since Trump. What bothers me about this, that we used to have some sort of, here's the thing. I'm tired of the shitty. It's just shitty. Like we have Matt Gaetz, we have Lauren Boebert, we have Marjorie Taylor Greene, we've got Ted Cruz, we've got Josh Hawley. And these guys also voted about throwing over the country. You know what I'm fucking tired of the shitty. It's just shitty.
Yeah.
You guys are shitty people who do shitty things, and you sure as hell don't use our tax money for Americans. You voted against the minimum wage. You voted for more emissions to be legal, so climate change continues, and we have bomb cycling after bomb cycling. You voted against any kind of gun legislation at all. You voted to take money from the homeless, and now they've already pulled the child tax credit, which cut child poverty in half. They pulled it.
They want to put the country back to being run solely by
rich white people.
wealthy white
men.
Speaking of eating healthy, this episode brought to you by
It's a
Athletic
weird
Greens.
jump, but I'll fake weird.
That should have come from the Dahmer
By the way,
side.
that was
I was waiting.
no. God,
And then I thought we might get a call.
we're
about
gonna get a
it.
call. Trust
So
me.
I put a couple sentences in between
And then I wrecked it.
and add, and then
No, you went
added,
right into it.
Athletic
perfect.
Greens. Athletic Greens, we just had it this morning.
I had it this morning. I had it every morning.
With our D3 dropper in it. Athletic Greens, I note I'm not usually as sensitive as you are about like period.
It is. That's not true. That is not true anymore. I'm
always,
way less sensitive than I used to be.
You always joke with me that I'm not.
Well, emotionally, physically, you're physically, I'm not sensitive all to almost anything.
No, like
emotionally,
when you drink,
I'm a wreck.
Like when you have,
ask him.
When you have wheatgrass.
Oh, wheatgrass.
You get a buzz. You get a buzz off of Athletic Greens. It's
yes,
like
I do.
You feel
better.
Your body notices things. Like, but you didn't like do drugs through college.
But it doesn't notice red wine.
Doesn't notice that.
Oh, you don't. Interesting.
Athletic Greens, I started using it because I wanted better gut health.
Mm-hmm.
I was always having stomach pain and just like digestion stuff, and didn't know if I was allergic to stuff. And it was just, I think that I was missing nutrients that I needed that I got in Athletic Greens. It also helps if you use it for working out. Mm-hmm. I have noticed it helps if you have a couple drinks the next day.
It also helps pre-workout.
Right up.
It helps me pre-workout.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And also it's just because when most of our diets now, we don't get all of the vitamins and minerals and nutrients and superfoods that we need. It's so hard to eat all of it every day. And I guess I could try harder. But I don't have to because I use Athletic Greens every day. It's hard to take pills all the time. You don't have to. You just have this drink that tastes good. It tastes tropical, which makes no sense based on how it looks.
And here's this morning. So this morning I noticed, I was drinking this morning, it tastes so good that you don't. So when we would get the other drinks, you'd have to fill a thing with the water just to get it down.
Yeah, just to dilute it down.
Yeah, you have to take it down. And with Athletic Greens, you give me, it was this much water, and it tasted great. It was awesome.
Yeah, helps with sleep, helps with your mood. I mean, it's like everything you can think of, that having everything in your diet that you need, if your system was fully supported, the difference it could make for you. So you just use one scoop in water, shake it up, drink it every day. We use the dropper of D3 because we all are deficient in D3. You're getting 75 vitamins, minerals, whole food source ingredients of the highest quality, and you're going to get things like gut and mood support, boosted energy, healthier looking skin, hair, and nails, and you can get it delivered, so you don't have to leave your house. Which you guys
possible
know.
with you, healthier looking.
I know, right? Where do you go from here?
He edits you every week. How do you get healthier?
This is my cabin hair. Please give me put an afro on me or something if you don't mind. So all you have to do right now, if you're looking for an easier way to take all of those supplements that you're taking, try Athletic Greens. They're giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D, the dropper thing we were just talking about, and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/Titus. That's athleticgreens.com/Titus. Check it out.
I love that the packs that we take on the road are just the right amount. I don't like scooping. I like give me something.
Yeah, just let me do.
I would like a measured thing. Yeah, this is great about it.
You really can't get all the nutrients. I think it's impossible.
I think
it's impossible.
But these.
But who also decided?
You're true. Yeah. Who figured that out?
Yeah, who decided how much nutrients?
Science.
Dietitian.
Bullshit.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Nutritionists, dietitians. I mean, you look at my coach when I was training. That man had it down to a science, what my body needed to look like a certain way by a certain date. And it would be as minute as, okay, today, I remember him saying, I know this is going to hurt, girl, but take your tablespoon of peanut butter out of your morning snack.
Right.
I need you to up your oats from half a cup to 3/4 of a cup. I mean, it was like so tiny.
Yeah.
And then the week of, everything was different. Today, you need to eat salmon because salmon plumps up your muscles. Yeah. It was like stuff like that. It's so minute.
I don't understand why he doesn't have a book. Does he have a book out, Kimoto?
He was writing a column for Muscle and Fitness Hers. He might have a book. He's busy. He's coaching.
Because I saw it work. I saw his nutrition work. I was like, holy shit.
It was crazy. And I would think that's not going to make a difference.
You were also so disciplined in everything that he had you do.
Everything he told me to do, I did.
And you know what I found out? It's everything in life is discipline. It's not doing it once well. It's doing it 50
consistent.
50
I thought about
times.
that the other day. I was looking at shows. Like, maybe I'll do another show. I hate doing the shows, but I love the shape I get in and how much better I feel. And I was thinking, where I was then and where I am now mentally, then I did everything he said. Everything. You remember. Yeah. Like, I did not cheat.
Nope.
Except for my one cheat day I was allowed the first 9 weeks. I did not cheat meal, not day. Now I think I'd be like, I could. Don't
can
do
fit
that.
one in.
And
Candace.
milkshake,
Oh,
couple of, look, in and out. What could it hurt?
he doesn't know
What's
how
that?
hard it is.
How bad is the peanut butter?
It's
Come
so
on.
hard. Yeah, but then I did everything he said.
So I'm watching, and you know more about nutrition than I do. I'm watching. So getting off of Twitter and getting on Instagram has changed my life in a couple of ways. Number one is that it's all pretty positive. They don't let negative shit exist on Instagram pretty hard. And I know because I've had 2 things taken off where I responded to it. No, they were just like, hey, man, that doesn't. And they were even cool about it. Like the message I got was,
Like, come on, man.
That really doesn't live up to our standards, bro. You're better than that. Like I was like, whoa, I feel bad. Even though I got inspired on how I was being.
And saying like a puppy.
Yeah. More of this, less of this.
Yeah.
So, but everybody has. There's 1,000 different ways to do diets. Now, one guy came on today and he's like, do not eat any carbs. There's no carbs that are good for you. And he said he switched his life to it's meat, and he eats greens. He has some greens, and he goes, but it's just protein and salad. And I'm like, well, isn't salad a carb?
That has carbs in it.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
I'm
that's
saying.
the thing. Carbs are in a lot of things, but also we need whole grains. You need some of that.
Why?
Well, first of all, that's why you track your macros, because you need, depending on your goals, you need certain percentage of macros in every meal. Macros being carbs, protein, and fat. You need fat. People would be like, don't eat fat. No, your body you need lubrication in your body and your joints and things like that.
Wow, I didn't even think it's never been put that way before. That's exactly what you need. A little bit of
carbs
grease. A little bit of grease. So you don't.
You need that.
Because this shoulder already goes. It's locking up.
If you
Seizing
don't
now.
eat carbs at all, you go into a state of ketosis, which is you can go in and you will lose weight temporarily, and it will F with your system later. I am here to tell you.
Yep. Do you know how many?
Makes you crazy.
Do you know how many bodybuilders have said that? I was reading something he said he did it for 10 years, and now that he's out of it, he said it can't. Oh no, it's the actor. The actor. Who's the actor? Funny, but he's really good. He was in the comedy movies. He was in Baywatch, the new Baywatch with The Rock.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron said he got in shape for that movie by using all these bodybuilder techniques and using the diet. And he goes, since then, I can't sleep. He goes, I have problems with my gut.
That's
I have
when
problems
I started having
across the board health problems. And I was like, well, then why are you this dude telling me on Instagram that he should? Because it's still misinformation. One thing I want to say about George. Go ahead.
It's just finding balance was what I was going to say. So, and so many people are now doing keto diets and stuff like that. You're just going to gain it back. It's just going to come right back and really mess with you. You're going to have swings in your blood sugar and stuff. You can't, it makes you crazy being in a state of ketosis. That long, short periods of time are fine. But
tell me I live with it.
Exactly. Like right before the show, he would start, but he never had me completely get rid of carbs. He would just significantly drop them,
slide it down
so that the week before the show, I was like,
we've talked about it.
Yeah, but that's just a limited time, though.
Yeah, and then I could go right back.
But you need to know how crazy this was. So when she got done with those shows, the Excalibur, she did 2 of them. Both times, the second it was over, we were literally with a siren on the roof of the car heading to Cheesecake Factory. She's like, get there now! She's not. And then she gets to Cheesecake Factory the one time and she ordered the sampler platter, which also.
No, you called ahead because they were closing and ordered that tower thing.
No, I was literally like, listen, I got a bodybuilder contender who's been eating horrible shit for like 3 months, has not had anything good. Can you guys get it ready? They're like, we got you. And then we get there, and she vomited. We were
with Shannon.
She got so sick.
He ordered 3 cheesecakes, the giant sampler platter that comes on a tower thing. Yeah, it made me sick because your body does get used to only having good things, healthy things, and so I would have my one cheat meal the first 9 weeks, and we went to Shannon's house, his sister's house, for a birthday party, and I was usually like little shitty cupcakes I wouldn't care about, but I was like, oh my God, give me. So I had a piece of pizza and one of those cupcakes and I threw up.
But for those shows and for movie scenes and things, the nutritionists and the bodybuilders or whatever, they'll push it right up to the edge just for that moment, and then you'll go back to something that you can sustain. He timed it
so that when I walked on stage, I was ready.
But even like be dehydrated.
Totally,
so
couldn't have water that day.
She totally dehydrated. But here's the thing: you should never do anything to your body that makes your mind insane. And that's what it did. It made her a little bit insane. And I think that you've got it. I get it, but it's excellence. But if it's excellence you can't maintain, is it excellence?
It's just that last week.
I know, but it's still insane. So it can't be.
The last week you start stripping water and but that's for the show. I love the.
She also
the
looks
journey.
so good. She just started stripping.
Speaking of stripping, this episode brought to you by a new advertiser, Native deodorant, which we all have some coming up.
Yeah,
that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's because they strip away all bad things.
Oh, even better.
Thank you.
Explain this.
They so Native deodorant, because I've tried a million deodorants, and what you will often find is when you have one that is aluminum free, which I think a lot of us at different times have desperately tried to find aluminum free.
Yes.
We won't say why, but we have all heard things about
Mhm.
aluminum in deodorants. And so Native got rid of that. And the problem that we've all had when we've tried aluminum free deodorants is that we sweat like crazy and we smell like shit.
They're also deodorant free.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're also basically
Exactly.
what happened. I got a big chapstick. It's just a giant chapstick. I don't know. My armpit is greasy. That's all I know.
The other thing that is great about this company, I was on their website and really kind of stalking everything that they do, is that, you read the back of a regular deodorant with aluminum and it's like crazy chemical words that you can't pronounce. And so Native isn't like that. They stripped
with
away
letters
those
from
bad
that aren't in
things.
the alphabet. Like, how is this 20?
Yeah,
how does this have 20?
Yes. So they keep their ingredients list bare naked. They use ingredients that you would understand when you read the back of it, like coconut oil, shea butter, baking soda, things that you're not terrified for your body to absorb. They also give you 72-hour odor protection, naturally derived ingredients, and like a residue-free application. Like I remember when I was in high school, I used Secret, because that's what my mom used, and you would put it on, and then like halfway through the day you'd have these big white balls stuck to the side of your shirt. You know what I'm talking about? All the time. So with Native, you're going to smell great all day thanks to their long-lasting scents. Kind of love their so Ken was snaking our drain in the rain with bare feet, and I
snaking our drain in the rain. Wow, you became Dr. Seuss for a second. What just happened?
The snoozles and snozzles.
And I had to ask you, I was like, hey, what kind of scent deodorant do you want? And you answered. You didn't get annoyed at all. But they have things like they have limited edition scents right now too. I'm sorry, I get overexcited about stuff. They have all different, like woodsy, clean and fresh, like different. So right now they have limited edition cabin collection, which we need, like warm cider and cinnamon, toasted marshmallow and vanilla, wildwood and cardamom. What? But also like their regular stuff. They have great scents, which is what I had to ask him in the rain, like sea salt and cedar.
It was almost like when you listed the scents to me, I was like,
eucalyptus and mint.
It's called Highlander Rain. Is the name of it.
But what I like about like products is like
cucumber,
In-N-Out and burger. I think burgers, fries. That's it. Don't give me 60s. I'm gonna have to smell them. I'm gonna have a taste test.
Lavender and rose.
Oh my god!
What did you choose? There's sweet. You chose charcoal.
Yeah.
You can go unscented.
So
Look, you can go unscented if you guys don't like scents. They also are doing a candy shop limited edition. So kind of like they do limited edition runs for you to try. So candy shop.
Good,
so
that'll go with my deodorant collection.
I just got us. They have gummy bears, sour berry belts, cinnamon hearts.
I've got a 1963 high karate that you can deodorant.
They have a post-show Titus.
Yeah, he needs this.
I am also I never.
You work your ass off. So do I sweat like crazy.
Can I say something about this company though? Because I have I have some of their other products, not the deodorant, but I have the reason I bought it was because I read because I have this thing with it was a lotion. I have this thing. Certain lotions will make you've seen it where I get red dots.
Yeah,
it's very rare, but it happens. Like there's 4 or 5 different lotions I just can't use, and whether it's paraffins, whatever's in it. Native doesn't have any of it, and I actually have it on now. To
be clear, he's using body cream on his face because he's a dude.
Yeah.
But
and stop wiping your face with car rags.
part of why we wanted to take this ad was because without realizing it, he was already using native products because he had found them on his own. Yep. This was before, like several months ago.
Because she gave me a lecture.
It's the cucumber and mint, right? Lotion or something. Anyway, so now's the time to make the switch from an antiperspirant to native. Go to their site. Look at all the crazy scents that they have. You can smell and feel fresh all day long with native. Get 20% off your first order by going to nativedeo.com/Titus or use promo code Titus at checkout. You can do either one. That's nativedeo.com/Titus or use promo code Titus at checkout and you get 20% off your first order.
Nice.
The George Santos thing, I want to talk one more thing about it. Now, can you do me a favor? Bring up a list of what the Republicans have already done since they took over the House.
Sleeves.
We've been talking about voter fraud for a long time. And you can actually say that if a man ran for office and lied about everything in his life, that's voter fraud. If you think about it, he said he went to college that he never attended. They said in fact, we have family members that they tried to get their kid into that school, and he was going, they couldn't afford $4,000. We found out that the school he talks about is $32,000 a year. So he lied about that. He has no degree. He lied about working for Goldman Sachs. He lied about where he worked. He lied about how he worked. He lied. Now we're finding out that his name is different. That's voter fraud.
How many felonies is that? That's mail fraud. That's insurance fraud.
Well, the SEC's investigating, but that's flat out voter fraud. Like you want to talk about, it hasn't to do with the machine. You lied to voters to beat a guy who was telling the truth, and so every time you see this guy, I want you guys to think voter fraud because that's what he did. And they interviewed a bunch of people in his district, and they were like, "We want him out. Like we don't. This guy's the worst of the worst." But Kevin McCarthy has a 4-vote limit now, so if he loses 4 votes, nothing gets through in the House. They need 218. He's got 222. Right. So he's got to keep.
Santos would be one less. Yeah. And last 2 years, they had sometimes about 10 Republicans vote with Democrats on certain things. People that had a conscience, like about impeachment, which is on the floor right now.
Purple states.
They are discussing right now expunging one of Trump's impeachments. This week,
they're on it. They're on it to help the American
They defunded the IRS because they've made up this whole story that the IRS, they are being hired by liberals to go after hardworking Republicans. You
mean for tax fraud?
Yeah, exactly. For not paying your taxes. Whoa, we should let people just cheat.
If you've ever dealt with the IRS,
they need more people.
Then you'll know that they are severely stuck behind the times. They desperately need money and funding and new equipment. That we had the biggest problem ever when we were dealing with his ex, with his. With his ex in the IRS, that the guy finally was so frustrated, and Chris was yelling at him, and he turned his screen around and goes, "Look, man, we're on DOS. I can't do anything any faster."
Shit. Yeah,
and
dot matrix.
That's a hair, by the way. I know it looks like a booger, but it's a hair.
Oh, I was trying to help you.
It's a gray hair.
It's
a gray hair.
It is.
Yes,
okay.
I'll have to do the old bink tears. Ding,
Oh,
tears.
you got it. We just cut it. Got pliers to it.
Kicked in the face with like a hook kick, and I'm fine. I pull one hair out of my nose.
My brain.
This is what they say they've done. Defunded IRS, 87,000 IRS agents. Stop Biden from selling our oil reserves to China. Established a bipartisan committee to counter the CCP and protecting the lives of babies born prematurely.
So, number one, they said, let's go through those. Number one, they can't do that. They have to go through the Senate, and Biden will have to sign it. So the IRS, and they said they hired 87,000 IRS agents. Well, they've got that's over 10 years. So that's 8,700 a year. They've got like 3,000 retiring almost every year. So basically, what happens is they're basically making it so the IRS works. IRS misses $163 billion in tax cheats because they don't have the staff. What these Republicans want is they want all this tax shit that they've been getting away with for a decade, 2 decades. They want it to continue. And because these new agents are going to make it so our tax dollars actually go to fucking us, again. And so that's bullshit. They passed the thing. You should read the name of the Baby Act, the Abortion Act. It's crazy.
I know.
So they said that
babies are born alive during abortions.
Partial birth abortion. Babies are getting born in abortions and they're killing them. Well, they had a doctor come on and just goes, it's not a thing. But that was the answer. It's never happened. It didn't happen yesterday. It didn't happen tomorrow. It's never going to happen.
Maybe this is why we don't need politicians making legislation for our medical well-being, because it's not a thing.
It's not a thing. And then
Jim Jordan, Mike Johnson have also launched the first investigation into Biden's classified document scandal.
Cool.
I'm really glad they got back to helping the American people.
Meanwhile, in Missouri, House Republicans, before they've done anything to help the state of Missouri, have passed a stricter dress code, but only for women.
And that is?
Proposing that women must cover their
chastity
arms.
belts.
And must do so not with sweaters, but only with blazers.
All women.
So wait, you couldn't wear that sweater in the Missouri?
I would need a blazer.
What?
Did you say Missouri or Mississippi?
Missouri.
What the fuck?
What in the fuck?
What are we becoming, the Taliban? What the fuck are you what are they talking about? Like, you can't. So in Missouri, in the middle of summer, women can't walk in a nice dress.
And why? Why?
You can
and what's the point?
You can go watch a video. Ann Kelly, who's a Republican, helped spearhead the changes.
They spent time on this.
Ashley On, who's a Democrat, there's a video of them heatedly arguing, calling the other lady while debating fabrics and arguing about arguing.
Boy, man, ugly bitches don't want pretty bitches.
When someone goes, hey, lady, then it's not good.
Hey, lady, listen up, lady.
They finally decided in the end that they would compromise, allowing cardigans to be included with jackets and blazers.
Again, the Republicans, standing up for what the American values.
On forced sleeves.
The coat lobby is strong in Missouri.
Okay, maybe it's time to take a break from politics. If this is what they're voting on and the shit that these guys are doing in the House, maybe it's time we should, guys, we're going to let everything ride. No, we're going to have no politicians for 5 years. Fuck all y'all. We've already, budget's already set for the next 5 years. We're not going to change anything. We're just going to vote on it. Because, by the way, they're making up shit now. We've been doing this for 250 years. I think it's time to maybe, we got enough laws.
Nobody gives a shit about jackets.
Yeah. But I don't, no one gives a shit about what, like who was like, you know what this place needs? You know, we can make America better. Women in blazers.
No wigs.
Yeah. I don't want to see any arm skin. Why? Because it's hard to focus.
Speaking of keeping things private, this episode also brought to you by another new advertiser.
This is the best. You slide in.
PIA private internet access. It's a VPN. This is something that my brother has been telling me to use for a long time.
I need this explained to me.
Okay, so a VPN is a virtual private network.
Right.
It allows you to establish a protected network connection even when you're on a public network. So a VPN would...
So like if I'm in the airport and it says
a
Salt
VPN
Lake
would
City
encrypt
Airport,
your internet traffic and disguise your online identity, which would make it more difficult for third parties to track your activities online and steal your data, which is why my brother was up my ass about doing this, because my brother's a federal agent and had to take classes on cybersecurity and cybercrime. He also said, always do the update when it becomes available for your phone, because they've figured out bugs and malware and you need to do the update right away. Because I used to not do it because it screws everything up. But
they make it all of a sudden it's hard to turn on the flashlight.
Shut the phone down in a month. Now I got to buy another one.
Yeah.
Also, so today, obviously, this is a little bit of departure for us, this ad today. But it's interesting, I think, for the security purposes, something that we are increasingly concerned about lately, especially with as much that we travel and stuff like that. But I guess one of the major selling points of this is that if you've ever feel like you've watched everything and you're out of options on TV, a lot of titles, and I know you would know this. I was like, Highlander would be like, are only available in certain regions. Like, for example, people write in and say they can't watch Alpha Chick in Australia or wherever. So you're not making the most of your subscriptions that you have.
Alpha chick, not in
Saudi Arabia at all.
No, I'm sure.
Or Afghanistan.
Or Iran.
But with the
Definitely
VPN.
not in Iran.
Yeah, VPN.
So you get a little help from private internet access. This is a leading VPN provider that works with all of the major streaming services that you're already subscribed to so that you can access more of their content than ever before anywhere in the world. All you have to do is connect to a server. You're good to go.
You can get the Singapore
80
version.
countries. Every U.S. state can use
Of
it.
the Shield.
And this was important for us. It's user friendly. It's okay for dummies because there's apps available for any device you have, smart TVs included, and one subscription can be used on up to 10 devices at the same time.
Oh, I'm in.
So you and
We're
I
getting this.
use the same.
You're right.
We have this, yeah, but you just haven't logged on to it yet.
Okay, I can log on. I've been busy.
So yeah, if you're
Drying out
in,
the house.
for all of you that wrote in and said that you could not see Alpha Chick,
The Missouri version has your sleeves covered up.
yeah.
You have
also
It's all
the
blocked
Iran
out.
version
Yes.
has a face covering.
How do we
only.
get this?
Also he has specials that aren't available in several
Yeah.
countries too.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things on certain streaming platforms of ours that you can't say. I say a lot, like I got a lot out there. Just one. There's just one. Go watch it, please. Help.
And a bunch of sketch stuff.
So I actually was looking for one of these for a long time because of my brother. So if you want to enjoy all the benefits of private internet access, now's the time to subscribe. You can go to PIAVPN.com/Titus and you get an 83% discount. Seriously, 83%. I don't know how that works, but that's what it says. That's $2.03 a month. And you also get 4 extra months completely for free. But you have to go to PIAVPN.com/Titus and you get a truly private digital life.
83%.
I don't know how. $2.03.
I'm doing it.
For 10 devices.
It must be good. That is first one's free right there. That's a first one's free.
Yeah. Hey, you got that shit?
Hey, you want some privacy? Come here.
Over 30 million people have signed up, so it has to be pretty damn good. That's PIAVPN.com/Titus. This only helps me with my,
Anxiety.
terror of evil in the world. And now there's all these cyber attacks and stuff like that. Like it wasn't advertised as a cyber attack, but the FAA did just crash last week. Thank God we weren't on.
What
the
happened
plane.
with that? Like, we got so lucky. We got done with that Seattle show. And the next week, all the holiday travel went crazy.
Oh yeah.
And everything ended. And then we're driving these gigs. We have local gigs coming up.
Thank God.
Roanoke Park, by the way, at Sally Tomatoes. And then we're going to be at the Crest Theater in Sacramento. People, please get tickets. New show. It's great. Her new show is awesome.
It's Roanoke Park, Sally Tomatoes on the 20th, which is a Friday. Saturday is Crest, Sacramento, the 21st. The very next weekend, the 25th, I'm doing my whole show at Comedy Works on the 25th. 26th through 28th is Comedy Works South, Titus headlining. Coming up Chico and Fresno.
This show that I'm doing is probably the most cohesive beginning to end.
Mhm.
I mean, my shows all fit together, but this one has it has something to it.
So this says that a corrupt file led to the FAA ground stoppage. And that corrupt file was also found in their backup system.
Some guy's SoundCloud fucked up. He's like, oh shit.
LimeWire. I used to get a lot of corrupt files on LimeWire. Like the sound of a rock hitting the side of a car in the middle of a song. Do you remember that? Did you ever download?
Once, but then everybody I think I went to LimeWire one time and then I read that it
ruined everything.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was 20.
Free music.
Yeah. Somebody told me, hey, you can just go get free music. And I was like, okay, not thinking all the problems it could cause, that it's illegal, any of those things. So yeah, I didn't know. But FAA just completely shut down all air travel for a couple hours, I think.
The only time they've done it in the past was during 9/11.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. So whatever happened, and this goes back to the IRS thing. So the IRS, she was telling that thing about the IRS, the government agencies aren't being funded.
Right.
So they keep going, you're fine. Every year, they kick the can. You're fine. And they're using the money. They just give $800 billion to our military, which by the way, the FAA probably should be working so the military can fly and we can track what's going on. So the IRS needs these agents, not just because they want to go after people. They need these people so when you call the IRS, there's someone on the fucking phone that can go, oh shit, you're right, we do owe you 15 grand. Oh shit, you're right, your refund is lost. Oh shit. And they don't have that. How many times have you tried to call the IRS? When we were going through that thing with the divorce and it was all lost, oh my, I remember thinking I should just kill myself because this, I can't, they're saying I owe this money. I paid the money. They said I didn't pay it. The interest is insane. The interest they add daily and the charges. It's like, so let's say, so at one point, I don't even, I won't even tell you how much my ex messed up my taxes, but it was 6 figures. And we were like, holy shit. So I started paying it. Do you remember we were in Hillock and I was paying it, making payments, and they said I didn't make a payment, and yet it came out of the bank, and I called them.
And that takes them 6 months.
And then I'm paying 6 months on interest on a payment I fucking paid. Do you know why? Because there wasn't enough IRS staff to fucking figure it out. So it's going to make everybody's life better if you just let these guys hire people. Plus we have more employment, and it's the IRS. Listen, people, they're taking your taxes. They're going to take it from me anyway. So either you pay it and
you want it to be a service that you can
if I'm gonna
engage with.
Yeah, if I'm going to fucking pay the money, I want to be able to fix it if you fuck it up.
I don't want it to be just in a lost pile. It's like
exactly. You know? There's one guy just going, I can't find.
Just pay it.
I got 330 million people I'm dealing with right now. We'll get there eventually. Here, listen to the music. And by the way, spend some of that money on good music. Because I don't mind waiting.
It's the same over and over.
That's what I'm saying.
But it'd be it wouldn't be the.
This is Highlander. Hey. Double down. With the double down.
I heard him listening to your music the other day when he was working out.
Oh, nice. Were you? Do you remember which song?
Double Down.
Double
that
Down.
was the one I heard. That's what reminded me of
Crank
that.
it up. I was in there working out in the gym. Crank it up. I like this song a lot.
Working on the song for from Zero Side Effects. The theme song that was in Zero Side Effects.
What was that?
That he walked
was
out
a temporary.
Yeah, it was music. There was
that
stuff that I was working on. Yeah, it worked.
I'm like, dude, save me $300 and I'll give you music credit. He's like, cool.
Boom.
Did you get a music credit?
Yes, it's on there. Oh,
did it change your life?
Yeah, just like the special did mine.
In mine. We're all having our lives change. I'm getting emails from Dennis.
Living our best lives.
We're fine.
It's
fine.
As my ankles are in freezing cold water.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I know. We're watching you on the camera with a. While we were digging, it was
fine.
I've made it.
Yeah. You know, I work for Titus. Wow, that's hair. I'm a producer.
That's how I feel all the time.
Oh, I'm a director. I've directed
special. Yeah, I know.
By the way, every time you complain about your special, I wish I hadn't done the special. I directed that shit.
I like that it's about you.
Yes. It's show business.
I'm pulling the rug out. I co-wrote the Armageddon updates.
I bring funny to this damn podcast. I'm joking.
You're both great.
You saved the house. I have to be honest. We take care of you though.
Oh, I know.
You're both great. You're both really living your best life, and only people that are living their best lives are right here in the dog bed.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
We had a subject matter I like to talk about. So I think everybody at one point goes, I didn't make it. I didn't do enough. I'm sure Chappelle has a thing somewhere. He's like, man, why am I not Eddie Murphy? How come I'm not in the 10 movies? Chris Rock has a thing. Everybody has a thing.
Yeah, sure.
After this Elon Musk thing, so Elon Musk lost $189 billion in Tesla stock. Oh. So it's all in Tesla stock, so it could still go up, but he lost. But since he bought Twitter, people were like, fuck this guy. They pretty much, everybody just was like, this guy's psycho. And they sold Tesla stock. Plus Tesla, we have all these other companies coming online. The new Dodge, oh my God, the new Dodge Ram EV. Did you see it?
No, I thought you were talking about the Charger.
You got to see the concept. Oh, and the Charger too.
He actually has promised to sell his left nut for the Dodge Ram EV.
And she said, I will miss your left nut. No, you never talk to it.
That's the right nut. Okay, you don't even know.
But if money made you happy, Elon Musk wouldn't be such a miserable dude. I mean, I watch interviews of him that he seems miserable. Warren Buffett seems fine. Bill Gates seems fine, but they're giving their money away. They've decided to give their money away. They gave up their money and when they die, so they know that it is what it is. I think hanging out with you guys doing this and having what we do, even if we do a sketch show or whatever we do, that's my best life. Going on these shows and doing these shows, that's my best life. And if something else happens that blows it up, yay! And then I'll become a psycho again. Yeah, you said to me when shit was going crazy at the house, right? And he said, "Oh fuck, why does this always happen? Like when I'm away?" Yeah. My feeling is like it's always here. It's always happening. It's just like you're away from it. So it's like, oh shit, I can't do anything about it. You don't notice it because it's just it's just we had an intervention with Ray when the house was getting. I had to have an intervention. We were like, hey, it's just stuff, but it's our stuff. I'm like, no, come, hey, boop. Yeah.
I actually was being quiet. I didn't say a word, and he told me not to panic because you could feel the panic.
Yeah.
In the air. But I was being very quiet.
Curling up in a fetal position is not being quiet.
You're so fake. He's so full of shit.
No,
I was walking around. We were getting ready to go already, but I was being quiet. But the
first time with the
tension.
roof, a week.
The intervention happened when the living room flooded because I was fine, and then I get the call. Now another room is flooded.
Yeah. That was the tone. Just stuff.
Zoom in on this face.
Anyway, guys, it's just stuff. Elon Musk can buy a lot of stuff, but Elon Musk still looks like that dude. He's still, you know what I mean? It's like at one point in life, you have to realize like these two little pups, man, that sit here with us. I know it sounds trite, but it's really money. We have enough money. Money's good.
What else is there? I mean, but
it's weird. That
I could think of a few.
By the way,
can't you?
Yeah, I can think of a couple. Yeah, there's some. I'm not saying.
I'm going.
You guys are so enlightened. You're just going with it.
I'm not saying.
I love that he encourages you.
I bought lottery tickets. God damn it! If this 1 billion lottery hits, I am going to be like, "What's up, bitches?" We're still going to do the podcast. Hell no! If we do, it's going to be from our plane.
That's one thing.
But it just seems to me that there's. Think of all the really wealthy people, Johnny Depp, man, that Amber Heard. Like you think of all the wealthy people that kind of live just kind of they seem miserable, don't they? At one point, money just doesn't mean anything.
They just have more stuff.
Yeah, they have more stuff.
More problems. More stuff yields more
money, more
What
problems.
do you call it? You call it my empire of dirt.
My empire. Sometimes I say my empire of dirt or my empire of shit.
Yeah.
There's a Bible quote about that, and then Shakespeare Steer, a similar quote about how we fret about trying to collect all these things, not knowing who will spend it once we're gone.
Yep. Yeah, because at one point there's, by the way, there's a guy on Instagram I want to talk about. This guy is a douchebag, Andrew Tate. Andrew
oh yeah,
Tate.
The dude,
have you seen this guy? He's sunglasses, bald head.
He's the guy that
martial arts guy
was arguing with that got arrested in Romania because. Yeah.
So the guy's always kind of a quick impression of him, really like. Listen, man, you got to get up in this world. You got to get up in their face. If you don't, here's what you got to do. You got to stand up, do it. You got to stand up. You got to do it, man, because no one's going to do it for you. You know why? And by the way, there's so many of these on Instagram. But this guy was like, and he's Bugattis. He's always Bugattis and planes. And I don't know how he got his money. Well, it turns out how he got some of his money was human trafficking. And he got arrested in Romania, and he's currently in jail. 2 days ago.
Well, he got out there.
No, he went to the hospital. They had to take him out of the jail to go to the hospital. Look it up. Andrew Tate goes to the hospital. Something. And then they played a thing on Instagram where he was talking about if they ever want to kill me. Dude, how narcissistic do you have to be to where you believe someone's going to kill you for what? Talking shit on Instagram?
Yeah.
Because you're like I don't.
Andrew, here's the title. Internet misogynist Andrew Tate back in custody following brief hospital visit. The colossal jerk lost his appeal to Romanian courts, meaning so this must be a British paper. This just sounds British.
I feel like if the Romanians are coming after you.
Yeah.
There are other stories.
Not really. The Romanians.
Other stories say it's a major health scare. It's a cancer scare. It's a developing lung nodule, which is usually benign but can be cancerous at times.
They took all his cars. The dude had a Bugatti. He had a $3 million Bugatti.
Look at his face as he's being led to cord.
Dude, this
Like that, he even has the Instagram video face when he's going to jail.
Let me tell you something. Going to jail. You don't even go to jail. Go to jail. Here's what you do. You get the top bunk. That's how that goes. You get you. By the way, you get all the desserts, and if you don't, you got to take that dessert.
it keeps whittling down until he's like,
So he's like the
getting
most
executed.
positive guy.
When you get lethal injection, you got to lay there. You got to choke.
I want a gallon. I want a gallon. You get you know what? I want lethal injection. Big gulp. That's what I'm talking about. You load me up. That's what you do. Be a man.
The Texas just this past week killed a former cop who
Texas is
hired
consistent.
two
man.
people to kill his ex-wife. And got caught. I think he had her killed. They ended up catching him later for doing murder for hire, and they just killed him. Lethal injection this past week. He declined to make a statement or anything before they did it to the family or anything. They asked him for final words, and he said nope, and just stared back. So he had a
Texas has
preacher
a
there that
belt.
prayed over him loudly the whole time, and it took, I think it said like 26 or 28 minutes for him to die.
They said that it's pretty brutal, man. It's pretty. They said that some of that lethal injection stuff. There was one state was doing it, and they hadn't done it in so long that it had got
Texas.
It had gotten
He
old.
was
pipes are
one of the
rusty.
people that filed the lawsuit because the lethal injection fluid was expired.
Uh-huh.
He was one of the plaintiffs on that lawsuit, hoping to.
Hey, this shit ain't almond milk. It goes bad.
It smells a little sour. I think it's,
Hey, there's chunks in my lethal injection fluid. This is not okay. It's
He
curdled.
thought
My
it would
lethal
delay.
injection fluid has
and they
curdled.
didn't delay it. So, yeah.
They were like, they didn't care anyway. They just shot it. Give me the old shit. Why? This makes me laugh all the time. Whenever someone who killed a bunch of people, killed somebody, and is on death row, you sentenced to death. It's not humane. I never understood this. Now we have DNA. We know you did it. You were there. You did it. We have people that confessed. You did it. You did it. Yeah, but we need to kill him humanely. I'm sorry. I don't have. And it's weird. I don't have that part of me. I don't have that part where I'm like, yeah, we're horrible. We're monsters if we're gonna kill. What does it make it right? Yeah, eye for an eye. I think there's how much wisdom throughout history is kind of like eye for an eye.
Yeah.
If you killed somebody, and here's the difference. If you were in a fist fight or something and it was two guys agreed to fight and one guy dies, that's manslaughter or whatever, you do your death penalty. But if you literally, Dahmer, this guy who actually said to have his wife killed, if you killed somebody, I really don't have a whole lot of worry about how you die. I really don't. And people are going to be mad at me about that, but I don't. There are people on this planet that don't need to be on this planet. If you're not adding to the common good, then you should be gone. That's how I feel about it.
Well, that's how we ended up with lethal injection because electricity sometimes didn't work.
it didn't work
For a while. They would cook a little bit and then not be
Steam would be,
So,
by the way, this is medium well. You need to set it to medium well.
So lethal injection was the answer to that gas chamber. The only thing when I read about him dying, because I'm always fascinated by stuff like that, they said that his eyes closed.
I live with her.
And he snored 5 or 6 times. And
He shrieked?
then still took 20 something minutes to die. But yeah.
Don't they numb you
doesn't
first,
a
though?
snore mean that you
So you're just napping.
shriek?
Yeah.
Which I thought, well, that's not a terrible way to go. We should do that to people that are terminally ill.
No, Jack Kevorkian was trying to do that.
Well, you can count.
Right.
But here's the
In
difference.
California, you can.
In California, you can now, you can have
Right
assisted
to
suicide,
life, yeah.
right to life. Yeah, but I just, if you're not adding to us, if you're taking from us and you're taking lives, it's funny because I know in my heart that I'm not even wrong about that.
There are 3 drug protocols for lethal injection that use an anesthetic or sedative, followed by a drug to paralyze the inmate, and then finally a drug to stop the heart. The 1 and 2 drug protocols
Just give me
typically
the
use an
heart.
overdose of an anesthetic or a sedative to just cause death.
Just give me the heart stopper first.
Yeah.
Don't give me a paralytical. Just give me the
things
heart
don't
stopper.
happen instantly, so you would want to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you uncomfortable that the killer person who killed some people? Are you uncomfortable?
What
Sorry.
about all the people that we killed that weren't guilty? Like,
Well,
at a time when they just blamed black people. Well, wait, they still do that.
But wait, no, I'm saying that, and that's what I'm saying.
Because a lot of black
I'm
inmates are getting
saying-
released.
I am saying the death penalty should only be used when we have a confession, we have DNA evidence, we
never
have witnesses. I'm just saying that there's the DNA evidence. There's time. We have different technologies. I agree with you. In the past, it may have been a bit much.
Yeah.
To just, firing squad.
Drawn and quartered was a little messy.
Dahmer did later confess, but not when he was initially. He later confessed to 17 murders in all, dating back to his first victim in 1978. The jury rejected his insanity defense. That's why he later said he did it, because he was trying to get the insanity defense to go into a hospital. Jury said, no, you didn't, and gave him 15 life terms. He survived one attempt on his life in 1994 when he first went in, and then was killed by another inmate the same year.
Street justice.
They were like, yeah, no, it's happening this year.
Yeah. Today. Yeah.
Yeah. We messed up yesterday. Mm-hmm. Today's the day.
You're not going to just take a nap. This is going to...
Here's my broom. I'm not here to sweep.
Who's going to prison? Oh, you think Weiselberg? She said Weiselberg's going to Rikers.
Weiselberg
going to Rikers. I'm going to Rikers. I heard it's not comfortable.
I didn't think anything. I said it's messed up that he's going to Rikers. Rikers is one of the most notorious prisons that we have. Notoriously corrupt, notoriously dangerous. Notorious for people randomly dying there. The warden, there's all you can look up all these cases that are ongoing right now of warden and
do you know
guards being involved in the corruption.
So Weiselberg, people, if you guys don't know, he was Trump's tax guy. He handled all the finances, and he knew all the shit that was hidden, and he didn't flip. So instead of actually flipping and giving them some information and ending up in a federal prison where he'd be fine, he didn't flip. So the prosecutor's like, "You're going to Rikers."
Yeah.
But he's only doing 5 months in Rikers. But
so
Ray
he got
said,
a death sentence. Like,
Ray says, yeah,
he'll
that's
probably do 105 days, I think.
That's what Ray said. Is the death sentence. If he survives it, though, it'll be because it got handled. It's amazing when you go through the Trump thing, how many times he's connected to mobsters, how many mobsters he knew. When you go through the history of Trump, it's how the fuck did we get this guy? How? Because he ruined the country for a decade. Someone was talking about, I was listening to CNN, and one of the pundits said, he said, if you look at what has happened now with George Santos, Vandelay, whatever his name is, Vandelay Industries, whoever is that we now are going to have, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert,
that whole team.
We have a decade, a generation where we're going to, until we get it's going to go worse, which then we're all fucked, or someone's going to have to stand up and change it, and it's going to take a decade to get rid of these guys.
And the things that they're going to not pass or pass are going to affect us for.
I'm just tired of shitty. I'm tired of shitty, man. We've had shitty for since Trump got elected. It's been shitty on the Republicans, and the Republicans don't quite understand that this once proud party of Lincoln has been destroyed, shredded. They're passing clothing regulations. They're passing
for women.
They're voting against something that won't pass. The IRS thing, it's already through the Senate. The Senate's it's already done. It's already done. The IRS thing is done. I don't, it's a waste. Why the fuck are we paying these people? We pay you, me, and her pay them, and you people out there, we pay them, and they're just doing whatever the fuck they want. It's unregulated power, and I like my dog is sleeping,
snoring through your big speech. You touched him with it. You gotta just hold it far away. I'm sure they could hear that.
Can I be honest about Chaplain? Middle of the night, I'm in REM sleep.
Yeah,
I am dreaming, and I hear, and that's at the end of the bed, and he does it for 8 minutes, and I finally have to go flip the dog. What I do is I flip him and I stretch him out, try to get the airways open again, for God's sakes. Our Yorkie needs a CPAP machine, is what it is.
Yeah. He does. I don't know. This whole passing the dress code for women. It's like people I know, I get these comments whenever I say anything is sexist. There's always these comments.
What else could it be?
I can promise you that comedians are not getting instruction on how to better time a joke in their special. I can promise you that. So, I mean, that's where the word mansplaining came from. Thank you for explaining to me how to do what I do. The way you want me to do what I do.
Yeah. Broken. But men have this thing where they believe they can help the little lady.
That is so sweet.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, the damsel.
Guys will couch it as chivalry to some degree, and the reality is what they don't quite understand is it is so, what's the word I'm looking for? Disrespectful to just not understand that you can handle writing a joke. English major who's...
Oh, no, it's not my writing. It's my timing. Only in a couple places in the whole special. But...
I just want to say that I didn't mean to insult you. I was just saying that you're not very good yet. What?
That's Dennis. That's Dennis, yes. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to go out on a sexist bang.
Well, we are going backwards. We are Talibaning this country. So do me a favor, people. Start standing up. I think we've all learned in the last 6 years how important voting actually is.
Mhm.
I remember when people would say that, man. And I was like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it fucking matters.
It
It
really
matters.
matters.
It matters. So in 2 years when it comes around, let's get rid of the dipshits because I'm tired of shitty. Guys, again, we're going to be at the Roner Park. Sally Tomatoes coming up on the 20th. On the 21st is the Crest Theater in Sacramento. Please get it. But before we go, it's now time for Fun Facts.
Fun facts. It's time for Highlanders Fun Facts.
Oh, I was stayed on the thing. He went different.
I was going to try to harmonize with you.
You did. You don't even bother. Because I can't. You'll do that and I'll go, yeah. I'll try to find
If
the
you
note.
just stay and then I'll do the,
Yeah.
I'll accompany you.
Oh, but yeah, that's the problem. If you can just stay. You mean if I could sing and had some ability at it. Right. Okay, got it.
Just hold your note. All
And
right.
now it's time for Highlanders Fun Facts.
Happy New Year, everyone. This is the first time we're all together for
Yay.
the new year. So this counts. Okay. Even though it's late. The first New Year's celebration dates back 4,000 years. Julius Caesar, the emperor of Rome, if you didn't know, was the first to declare January 1st a national holiday. He named the month after Janus, the Roman god of doors and gates. Doors and gates.
Wait, they had a god for doors
God
and gates?
for
Also,
doors and gates.
Janus?
Slam! Damn it! I've made the gods mad. What?
Janus.
Oh,
I'm so
sorry. You just shut the gate on your hand, idiot.
Why, they're gods for everything.
Janus?
Yes.
Janus was the name of my great
By
aunt.
the way, don't forget to lock that. I'm Janus, the god of doors and gates.
Who was-
Slam.
Who left this door open?
she was mentally disabled
Yes.
and would chew her gum and then stick it on the nightstand. That Janus.
Janice had two faces.
I can't hear Janus
I know.
This
without
gate is
thinking
impossible
about
to
Janus
open.
eating margarine like a banana. I can't go ahead, Janice. She loved Kool-Aid
What?
too.
She would eat
She loves
sticks
sugar
of
and
butter like a
margarine.
banana.
Not butter, margarine.
Margarine, sorry.
It's very different.
She had two faces, one looking forward and one looking back. Caesar felt that a month named after this god would be fitting, as in we're entering a new era and leaving an old.
Open the door, it's a new year. Open the gate, for God's sakes.
Janice
It's a new year.
was mentally disabled. Grandma says retarded
You
because
correct her every time, and it
every
makes no,
time
and
I
it makes
try.
no
That's what
difference.
we said. Mentally retarded.
Yeah.
Janice, I locked the door, damn it,
It was
already.
the forceps. They pulled her out and
Squeezed her brain.
Oh.
so come to find out.
Mm.
My great grandmother, who we called Granny, Grandma Jean's mom, owned that house
The god of Afghans.
herself alone. My great grandfather
Alpha chick, wow.
did not own that house that he lived in. And that was at a time that we all pretended that he was in charge and ran the house.
Uh-huh.
But I now know because Grandma and I now hang out and she tells me stories because Granny agreed to take care of Janice for the rest of her life because she needed to live with someone. And her parents left her that house if she agreed to take care of Janice. So Granddaddy moved into that house that a woman owned. I was like,
Player.
Man-ho.
with your
Yeah,
big
he was
giant
a-
drawers that she would hang on the clothing line.
By the way, what's after, then we got Denver?
We got Chico, we got Denver, and then we got Chico Fresno the next weekend. We
Okay.
got Schaumburg coming up.
Oh, man. I love Schaumburg.
I do too.
It's going to be middle of winter, though. It's going to
Yeah,
be
y'all.
yay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. It's good to be back. For myself, you have anything you want to talk about? Any new releases coming out? You're still working on the music, though. You're
Yeah.
still
It's
working
new
on-
stuff coming out. Yeah.
He's gonna
good.
announce it.
I will
when
announce it.
comes out.
Okay.
So-
All right. Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I got a lot, but no. No. Oh, and look at his Chappie licked his face, and it's crazy.
Oh, Poochie woke up from your nap.
For myself, the Poochie. the Bombshell, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There can be only one.
Would you say bye-bye?
He looks-
Can you
He
grow a
awoke his
little, put a little Highlander beard on
I
him?
just woke his ass
Aw.
right up. He's like, yo, I hate you, Dad.
he keeps looking at me. See, Mom.
Mom.
He always wants to get to me.